Now, during the immigration debate, you heard all sorts of stats and figures being tossed around, but I'll bet you never heard this one. Between October 1st, 2000 and September 30th, 2005, 98% of the people caught crossing into our country illegally were never prosecuted. 98%. In fact, people who came from countries other than Mexico, conveniently the government calls them other than Mexicans, actually relied on not being prosecuted as part of their strategy. They'd come in from Guatemala or Brazil or even from the Middle East, believe it or not, be caught, then given some papers and released on the promise, cross your heart and hope to die, to appear in court. Take a wild guess how many of them actually showed up. The media loves to quote the so-called experts who say, oh, there's just no way to do it. I mean, we don't have enough agents or jails or judges. Really? The real story is, these are nothing but tired old excuses. Last year, a program called Operation Streamline began along 210-mile stretch in West Texas. It's highly technical, and I'll try to speak slowly for those of you in the meat-eating states. But if you're caught illegally crossing the border in that area, they take you to jail. Here's where it gets complex. Then they prosecute you, and then they sentence you to even more time in prison. The end. Well, guess what? Detentions of illegals have fallen 65% in that area. What a surprise. So why isn't Operation Streamline in place, and why isn't the government, why isn't George Bush saying we got to do this on the entire border? Texas Congressman John Culberson went to the border last week to get a first-hand account. Congressman, tell me how it's working and give me the specifics on the trash trail.
Glenn, you're exactly right. Law enforcement works. It's common sense. In Del Rio, the nation owes a great debt of gratitude to Border Patrol Chief Randy Hill, Federal Judge Alia Ludlam, the local sheriff there, Val Verde County Sheriff Dwayne Jernigan. They got together and decided that if you cross into the United States illegally in Del Rio, you will be arrested. There is zero tolerance in Del Rio for illegal entry into the United States. 100% of all illegal aliens crossing the Rio Grande River in the Del Rio sector, Glenn, are being arrested. They are being sentenced to 6 months in jail at federal expense. They're being housed in county jails at federal expense. The word got out very quickly, Glenn, in fact, and before this program started, Operation Streamline, in the Del Rio sector, they were arresting over 7,000 illegal aliens from countries other than Mexico, and last month they only arrested 20. And as you say, when you go, officers can spot the edge of the Del Rio sector simply by walking and looking at the trash, because the trash picks up on the edge of the Del Rio sector, north and south of the sector, because the illegals figured it out, and in about 30 minutes, if you cross in Del Rio, you will be arrested, so nobody's crossing.
This is, you know what, this is, I've been saying for weeks now, it's we the people that are going to solve it, and the closer we get to the local level, the more things will get done and the more things will get fixed. How is it we can get this thing to go all the way across the border?
Two ways. I serve on the Appropriations Committee, and tomorrow I will be offering an amendment to the Department of Justice Appropriations Bill demanding that the Department of Justice implement Operation Streamline from Brownsville to San Diego, that we institute zero tolerance of illegals crossing into the United States illegally, that we prosecute 100% of them, because Del Rio has done this, Glenn, within existing resources. Del Rio didn't need any new laws. We don't need any new laws to protect this country. They didn't need any new money. They only needed 3 new prosecutors assigned by the Border Patrol to handle these cases in court. So I'm going to do an amendment tomorrow in the Appropriations Committee. I expect it to pass, demanding that Department of Justice institute zero tolerance for illegal aliens crossing into the United States, that 100% of them be arrested, they be sentenced to 6 months in prison, which will then allow us not only to deport them criminally, but if they come back into the United States, it's a felony. It prevents them from re-entering again. And then finally, Glenn, I'm going to find, frankly, a way to make sure that this is implemented through the appropriations process. And then also one of the key pieces is I'm trying to send, with the help of Congressman Ciro Rodriguez and Henry Cuellar, $125 to $150 million to locally elected border sheriffs, so they can hire the deputies, buy them the police cars and the machine guns and the equipment they need to arrest criminals, put them in local jails at federal expense, basically seal the border, stop the flooding, enforce the law. The local community supports it, Glenn. Everyone down there is for law and order.
Yeah, we'll follow this tomorrow. I'm anxious to see if it actually passes tomorrow. And President Bush, listen up. You want your credibility back? This is the kind of stuff that you should be doing.
Enforce the law.
Thank you very much. That is the real story tonight. We'll be back in just a minute.